we saw. I don't know if you guys must have seen that the NCAA caught bare flack for waiting so long to cancel March Madness. Like even before the NCAA canceled that, other conferences such as the Ivy League, they had already canceled their tournaments, right? So, Prince, do you feel like the NCAA is just they keep showing how corrupt they are and how much they're just money driven?
Yeah.
No, they're super corrupt. Like I personally feel like even based on like the history of the NCAA, like most of the like not even most of the programs before the laws came that the players were able to market themselves and get money. Every time they were getting
Mm-hmm.
money, it was going towards the program, and obviously, like
Yeah.
it didn't really benefit the athletes, and that's really the point of actually bringing these athletes to the schools. And it's like I feel like the NCAA
Mm-hmm.
focusing more on their economy than just taking care of their children. For example, like in 2015 with Ben Simmons in LSU, when you
Mm-hmm.
you watch that documentary, right? So he's just explaining
Oh
the
yeah,
fact
that
that like,
documentary is
yo,
hard.
hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he's just explaining like, yo, he's not getting money, and it's like he's pretty much wasting 1 year while he knows he's a number one prospect to go to the NBA. And also, you could risk any type of
Mm-hmm.
injury that you don't even know that might just derail your career, like for life. So it's just something that, like,
Mm-hmm.
to be
Mm.
honest, like the NCAA doesn't see it that way. They just think, yo, money, money, money. But at the end of the day, you have to see safety first before you start doing anything else.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember in that documentary, Issa, you watched it too, right?
Yeah, I watched it with you.
Yeah. So remember, he was in the grocery store, and the man was struggling for funds, and we're talking about Ben Simmons here in the groceries or it was a Walmart or whatever. So he said, because the NCAA their defense was that we didn't know what the situation would look like everything kept changing hour by hour, day by day. So we needed to take time with the decision. Like, do you feel like their defense is valid on why they took so long to cancel the season?
Absolutely not. If the NBA canceled it, they should cancel it because these players are not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they don't have zero leverage. They all depend on the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA, like
Mm-hmm.
they have money, they have salary, so they're good. So no, it's just at the end of the day, it's just all
Yeah.
money driven. They're trying to see, like they're just hoping maybe we can play so we can get another $1 billion this year. But you know, yeah, they get billions, man. These players are broke as
They
hell. They
do. They
they're getting
do.
all their
Yeah.
money. But yeah,
That's
so
why,
they're just
like,
trying to
yo,
drag
that's why
it.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, that's why it's like crazy because there's so many scandals that's going on with the NCAA with the players. Because even when they commit, it's like they always like
Mm-hmm.
sign a deal in the low because they already know like the NCAA, they don't really
Mm-hmm.
care about the students. They really just take care of themselves, the organization, and they're just trying to build like a crazy company for themselves.
Yeah, they coach are the superstars over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the coaches, not the players. It's crazy.
No, honestly,
Yeah. There's yeah.
I
And
blame the organization though because like you can't really like you're paying everybody except for the players, and they're the only one that's marketed for you, not anybody else. So it's
Yep.
like I don't know.
Mhm.
That's
That's
my
that's
that's
And
my
didn't
that's
they
the kind
wait?
of stuff you expect
yeah,
from
Bunty.
NCAA, though.
Didn't they wait like because when the NBA canceled? Remember when the NBA canceled the season and then everyone else was canceling it?
Yeah.
Didn't they wait like the
Mm-hmm.
last
Yeah,
moment to cancel the season? Yes.
Yeah, they're
Come
the
on.
like one of the last major leagues to cancel their season.
they probably called every single doctor in the world to make sure. The
Like, oh,
whole
you
Can
sure
we
we
find
can't?
a way to make this go
What
through?
if? But what if we have? Uh,
What if we
uh,
did?
what if
just
there's people on the side of it with masks? Nah.
they're probably paying the doctors like, yo, we'll pay 100 mil. We'll pay 100 mil. Just put a fake statement so we can play.
Yeah,
Sign
they're
it.
all
What?
standby. They're all on the bench like this, waiting in case something happens. Come on, man.
You know,
That's
they're
crazy. Look,
yeah.
like, look at Brown, fam. Taking how much money he probably made them last season.
Oh,
Shouldn't someone like that get paid?
Rudy Gobert has tested positive for the coronavirus. This is the last night of NBA games for the foreseeable future.
Obviously, we're going to listen to whatever protocol that's going on with this issue.
When you got the news, and kind of take us through that process a little bit, if you could.
I mean, it was a little shock for sure. We had obviously paying attention to the latest current events.
I think we're at the point now that this has been declared a pandemic, that it's virtually impossible to contain it.
Issa, since you kind of know a bit about history, I was asking, I before this, I kind of talked to you about like how would this work if they they pick up the season again, and then it kind of eats up into next season. Like, how would it work? Like, are they gonna shorten next season? Like, how did they do it for the lockout?
Yeah, they're gonna if they started in Christmas Day, so the 25th of December, and then they play like 50 games until the playoffs. So it's very doable. They can do that. If they start late, if they end late, they end the season late, they could just have a couple months of break and then start Christmas Day, 50 games, and then the next season after that can be 82 again. It already happened. So there's already a precedent. So it's,
the best case scenario for you guys for this season, like, do you guys think the season should go through? How do you think they should do it? Because I saw some ideas out there. Some people were saying, I think it was Jay Williams. He was talking about having NCAA style tournament. He was talking about having NCAA style tournament. He's like, yo, one game, fam. You put it all on the line. One game. Who's with that idea? Who has alternatives?
On a cruise ship too.
I don't think he was serious about the cruise ship.
What if the ball goes on the water?
I know he was. They've already played. Fam, you guys don't know they play Michigan State every year. They play a game against Army or Navy. They play on a destroyer.
But yeah, but that game means nothing.
Yeah,
that game means nothing.
I don't think
we're talking about the playoffs.
I think they could have a way to.
Come on, man.
But what if you start shooting from you see a shark, fam?
Literally. What if it's a thunderstorm, fam? What if there's a thunderstorm, fam? Come on, man.
All right. So,
they throw the rest of the ocean.
What do you think they should do for the postseason? Like, what's the best scenario you see? A 5-game series? Like, how do you think they should do it?
Yeah, that's a good.
Honestly, I have no idea. Like, it's just so hard right now because the thing is you don't know when the season can come back, right? You don't know when the health officials would recommend the NBA to come back and start back the season again. Although I read today that Dr. Fauci said that he thinks it's doable to have like the season, to have sports continue during the summer, where they can just isolate players into hotels and have them into hotels and then just like basically leave the hotel to go to the gym or and make sure that they don't have contact with the outside world and test them every single week or every single weekend. I don't know when that kind of thing can get in place, right? Like where you can have like the leagues can have enough tests in their hands in order to start doing something like that, because you have to remember that in the US, for example, there are still issues with the testing at this moment, although now things are looking better, and some people are saying that the number of new cases has probably peaked in New York and in other states as well. So, but it's still pretty early to say, That's why, I really agree with Adam Silver, who said that the league is not going to be able to make an informed decision until sometime in May. So I think you first of all you have to know what the how is the situation, if there's a bunch of cases, or if there's an outbreak in one state or in a few cities, that might drain the resources available, and make even harder for the leagues to start back. So honestly, I have no idea at this moment.
And also, I just wanted to get your take on this too, because I'm pretty sure you've seen the criticism that, like, just the overall population had on the league because they were testing so much and there wasn't enough tests for the general population. So there was kind of an argument made, oh, it's a different set of rules for the more wealthier people. What's your take on that debate that was going on?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of merit to that criticism because first of all, like if you're testing people who are in contact with someone who tested positive, like as was the case for Rudy Gobert, it's understandable. So for the Utah Jazz, that's understandable. But testing these like other teams who are like if, for example, they didn't travel or play a game with like a team that has confirmed cases, you know, that would have been like a mismanagement of resources at that moment. And so like that's why you saw I think the Golden State didn't test their players or their organization, and I think that was a good decision. But also there's also well, this criticism can also be broadened, and so there are people who are criticizing, for example, I guess like government officials or members of Congress who are able to get tested as like really quickly. So, and for me, I think that's like a different standard. So if you have like leaders of the country, like politicians, and those people are, I think those decision makers, the policy makers are really essential to running a country during a time of crisis. But that's not the same with like a sports league, right? That's already closing down anyways, you know. So I think like yeah, that criticism is quite valid, you know. Yeah, unless people in the league were in contact with someone who tested positive, like they shouldn't have been tested. They shouldn't have been given priority for the tests.
Mukhtar, what would you say is the best case scenario here? Would you rather them just cancel the season, start anew, or do you want to see a NCAA style tournament? What do you want to see?
Honestly, I would still like to be able to see the season. I know that it's pushing it into deep territory if you delay the start of the next season, and it just creates a whole cycle of like everything's delayed to a point where the whole schedule has to rechange. But I wouldn't mind seeing, because like this season had one of the best storylines that we've had in a really long time. Both conferences had possible teams that could have won the championship. They had the Battle of LA. They had Houston Rockets small ball. They had a lot of things that I really wanted to see in the playoff and how they would go about. But at the same time, we can't really, I would say, gamble with the health of the players and the people surrounding them, like the coaching staff and all that stuff. Because it's not just the players, it's the coaching staff, the support staff, and everything, and the people who have to run these events as well. So ideally, I would like to see like a regular playoffs, but it's looking less and less likely with everything going on.
Because I'm going to be playing in the CBL league that's going to be happening this summer, and they're really thinking something very similar about like just us like being quarantined and stuff like that. Well, me personally, just for my safety, it's just kind of just like it's 50-50. Like you don't want to like
So
risk
you wouldn't want to. You wouldn't even you wouldn't be that open to being like secluded or something like that for a
no, just
season of
not like
CBL?
no, because remember, like the thing is in Edmonton, so it's like I'm not really, so I really have to like travel, so I have to go through all the process of just like going to the airports and stuff like that, and you don't really know what's going on, right? Because obviously, like some players are down and stuff like that, but it's like the virus is something that's just it's just up for grabs, so like you don't know like where you can end up with, so it's like it's just risky if I decide to just go and we're still in a situation like this that everybody's still quarantining. And I feel like for the league, it's like that's something that they have to see it too, because remember, like these players are not really in one city; they're in different cities. So it's like traveling from one city to the other one. Like it's kind of tough for them to actually do it, and not saying, oh, you might not contract the virus and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot of aspects you got to see it. So that's why it's like I don't really know what the season's like, what the NBA is gonna do, but like there's a lot of aspects they have to go through this to actually get like a right solution. But for now, I personally think, in my opinion, it's gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunty, just to finish off, what is your take on the season? What do you think is going to happen?
No, I agree with like Adele and Prince. Like at this point, like, cause I don't know if it's true, but is it true about them saying concerts are gonna resume in like the fall of 2021?
Yeah,
that's
there
what they're saying.
there are some rumors about that, but
That's crazy.
like everything
but-
depends on the vaccine. That's like basically that's my take there.
Yeah, so if they're saying that about like concerts and stuff, then what's gonna happen to the league? Cause like let's be honest, like a lot about basketball is like they feed from the energy of the crowd.
Hmm.
So like if there's no fans, it's like yeah they'll play because they're getting paid to play, but it's not gonna be the same thing. Like them playing and us watching it, it's gonna be completely different.
They
It's
could
gonna
just
be
put audio.
Mhm.
The fans cheering. You know,
Don't do that.
And I had a question. 'Cause you said you could do the thing where we play, we do it quick, and then we take a short break and then come back. Like remember for the lockout?
yeah.
Yeah, but look at all there's so many like stars these days getting injured and all that. You think that'd be a good decision to do that?
Well, if I'm LeBron, I want the playoffs to start. I don't want the season to cancel because he's getting older, right? He can't wait till another season and then grind the season, then whatever. If I don't know. I'm a fan, right? I'm being biased. I want the playoffs to start. A little 10 games and then if it can happen in September, it can happen in September, and then it'll finish by the end of September or early October, and then take a break till December 25th or even like after January or whatever. Short season, and then playoffs, just like 2012. And then after the season after that, it can resume to 82 games. It happened before, so that's what I'm saying. And it doesn't have to be crowd, even though like obviously it's not gonna be the same without crowds. But like I don't know, if I'm a player and I have a chance to win,
It's gonna be like a pickup game. Everyone's gonna average 50.
Like summer runs.
Pickup game.
first 2 rounds they should make it best out of 5. And then the conference finals 7.
Yeah, I think I like best out of 5 would
And then the
be
conference
the
finals
quickest
7,
way to get it done.
and then think 7. It's just I'm looking out for the older players because they don't have too many seasons to spare.
Yeah.
All the time is catching up.
Yeah, literally.